Yo, what up, what up, what up, and welcome to Pinoy News, man. Listen, it's a day, you know what I'm saying? It's a fucking day and shit. Like, yo, man, I swear to God, like I saw this motherfucker earlier. Somebody put this shit in my Discord. I forget. I think it might have been TK Mao who's with me right now. They are trying to screw the American worker. So we're in the middle of a pandemic. It's like 23% unemployment right now at the moment. And they want more workers being brought in to fuck over the American workforce and drive down your fucking labor value more. I don't understand like how it is that the government continues to get away with this fucking bullshit. I don't get it at all. They want more fucking H2B. They want 35,000 more H2B visas because they say that it exceeds like the amount of them exceeds right the fucking number of fucking people that they can fucking hire. But the truth of the matter is that like they're not willing to pay the fucking amount of money that it costs to live anymore. That's just the reality of the fucking matter. There's just if you want more workers, you pay more money. It's that simple. People come out for more money. Like if you're willing to pay $25, $26 an hour, motherfuckers will line up around the block for that fucking job. But if you're only paying $8 or $9 an hour, nobody's gonna come take that job. It's a simple thing. Yo, TK Mao, man. What do you think, man? Legit.
I think this is kind of inevitable when you get our welfare and our central banking system set up the way it is, because you need continually more people coming in to pay taxes. You need continually more people to get paid less so that these corporations can charge the same amount of money. And you need to drive down labor costs because people aren't willing to actually pay the extra 20 cents or whatever that it takes to buy local or buy something that's made by Americans. Now, part of the problem here is also that we've got way too many people in this country already. So that's a problem with the labor force. We also have the problem with automation, making it so that people who have no business doing certain jobs are doing certain jobs. And we've also got the problem that if you are just going to have people retiring, you need some people continually throwing into the pot so that they can keep pulling out of it. I think this kind of calls back to a segment that you did a while back where I think it was like a third of all mortgages are owned by illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
That's the same type of thing. You need more people coming in to keep the housing costs high, and you need the housing costs high so that people can use their homes as an asset, and people need to use their homes as an asset because they don't have anything else.
It's a giant fucking Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
And at the end of the fucking day, like legit, like it's like we need more people to be able to pay more taxes, to be able to pay more Social Security, so we can have more people to be able to pay more taxes. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like the whole thing is completely fucking broken. Like it doesn't work unless you have more people, right? You have to continue to have wages either stay stable or go down, and the price of goods stay stable or go down, and the value of the currency goes down at the same time while the cost of fucking everything else goes up.
Yeah. And it's worth noting that because we have inflation, like you were saying, devaluing currency, if the price of something stays the same, that means the price has gone down. I forget the exact numbers here, but I want to say that priced in gold, the price of the average automobile over the last 50 years has gone down something like 20%, meaning that if you're talking about if you had somebody who's crazy enough to sell you like a car, the average car for a sack of gold, you need 20% less gold today than you did in, I think, 1970.
Yep. Like that's just I don't really know like how to like explain any of this. Like it doesn't like I know that the government like is ran by corporations at this point. Like just, like it just is what it is. Because like I was sitting here looking up what is an H2B visa, right? An H2B visa is a visa basically for like low wage workers. It's for guys who are doing construction and landscaping and fucking meat packing and warehousing work and shipping and things of this nature, right? So basically, they're going to bring in. Good morning, Michael. Good evening, Michael Hatfield. How you doing, man? Right? Like it's basically like they're standing here bringing in more workers to keep the cost of labor down because they're saying, oh well, people aren't coming out for $10 an hour to come earn bullshit fucking wages anymore. So we need more fucking money. And I'm standing here going like, yo, it's not the fact that Americans don't want these jobs, it's that they don't want these jobs for bullshit fucking wages. They want to earn like what the fuck they're supposed to earn. Like, yo, when the cost of rent $1,000 a month, you're not gonna fucking take a $10 an hour job. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, yo, when your car on average costs, when a used car on just a beginning market for a used car is $3,500. Like you're not getting into a fucking car that runs for less than $3,000 at this point, right? Especially on the East Coast where I'm at. Why would you take a job making $10 an hour if it's going to cost you more to have to fucking go to work than it would if you just stayed at home and collected fucking welfare and fucking bullshit benefits? Yo, what's up, Prime Mover? How the fuck you doing? Right. And so what's the government do? The government, like all of a sudden now, like everybody's unemployed. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking nobody's fucking has a job. They go, oh, wait, well, we need more workers to come in to do these fucking low wage jobs to keep down the cost of fucking wages for these goddamn fucking giant companies.
Yeah, I mean that's more or less the way it's turning out. Like the only way I can see this turning around is if we got some sort of deflation going on. But the thing is that if the value of our currency goes up, everything is fucked. Like everything is fucked because
that's what happened in 09.
Is debt. Everyone is in debt, and everyone is in debt because for not just our lifetimes, but for the last 100 years at this point, every year the dollar is worth less than it was the year before. There are a couple aberrations in there a little bit where, that there are some foreign market currency fluctuations, but still, on average, year over year, decade over decade, $1 today is worth more than it's going to be tomorrow. And that means that even if you have to take out some stupid amount of interest, it's worth more to have $1 today. And you throw that on top of the fact that, like, right now, if you can actually get a loan, which, good luck, because they don't want to give a loan to anyone who doesn't have like a guaranteed source of income. So if you got like a pension or something like that to borrow it against, then yeah, now is a fantastic time to buy a car because you can get a 60-month 0% loan from the dealership. Do you like
on the same
that is
point, it's
dumb.
It's still a shitty fucking time to buy a car because it's going to cost you 60 fucking grand to get into that goddamn car at this point.
You're not wrong.
I mean, that's the problem that you run into is like, okay, so let's say you get a 0% loan for 60 months. You're still paying $400 a fucking month. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do at that point? At $400 a fucking month, that's a ridiculous car note.
Yeah, that is a rent in some areas.
That used to be rent where the fuck I'm at. And I mean, when I was like, legit, when I was 18, 19 years old, that's what the fuck we paid in fucking rent.
I I could get a $400 a month apartment where I'm at right now, but it's not going to cover anything else, like no utilities, and it's going to be in the bad part of town.
Oh
But
yeah, I mean, in a shitty part of town, you can always get a $400 apartment, but I'm not living in the shitty part of town. Like fuck that.
yeah, I don't feel like ducking bullets when I'm going to work either. But
I mean, that's like, this is what I'm saying. Like, real shit. I can't fucking believe that like the American people would let them get away with this shit. It's a basic math equation. Like, if you have more people vying for a fucking job that's worth fucking less, like, why would you want more people?
It's supply and demand, and it's the same reason why, now that we have, what is it, like 50-60% of people are going to college and have a college degree now. And so you have like restaurants who are, well, had when back like a year ago when you actually had restaurants. I saw like a Twin Peaks. You know what Twin Peaks are, right, Tom?
I think it's like, ain't that like an ice cream shop?
No, Twin Peaks is a sports bar. I saw a job listing for Twin Peaks in which it required a bachelor's degree for a server.
For a server.
Just because like there are enough bachelor's degrees out there. I mean, why not require it?
I don't, but no. Like, I've never heard of anything of this nature. Like, I've heard of bachelor's degrees for garbage jobs, like fucking managers at Burger King and things of this nature. And I'm like, hang on a minute. You want me to have a fucking bachelor's degree for like a $35,000 a year job? Are you out of your fucking tree? It's just like, I've known people, like I've known bitches who went to school for like fucking 8-10 years, like to go get a fucking bachelor's or a fucking master's degree to go get a fucking $32,000 a year job as a social worker. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
You want to talk about not making any sense? A year or two back, I knew this female who was working as a server, working her way through college, which, God bless her that she's actually trying to work her way through college, but it was still a stupid thing. Because she wanted to learn how to breed cows. And I'm like, why don't you just go to a ranch and ask for a job where you breed cows?
Like, the PP goes in the fucking in the stink hole. Like, it's that fucking easy. You know what I'm saying? Like the PP goes into the hole. Like, it's pretty much nature will take its fucking course. If you have, like, you know what I'm saying, a steer, and then like you get it near a fucking it'll breed itself. Like, it works itself out. Like, they do that shit on their own. Like, it's not that fucking difficult.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's breeding season, yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's a little bit more complicated if you want to have it for like dairy cows, right, so that you got them at the specific times and you want to make sure that you don't mess them up so you can keep getting that milk out of them. But you're not wrong that this isn't terribly complicated. Like, I have a book from, I think, 1872 that is like basically a veterinarian's guide for farmers, and it covers basically everything you need to know there.
Yo, Dip, nigga, did you hear what the government's doing?
Which part? It's getting difficult to keep up, dog.
I feel you. So, like, along with this new fucking stimulus package, they passed part of the bill that says they want to bring in more H2B visa workers for meat packing, landscaping, and construction.
Wait, can't Trump still veto it? Because that's what I hear some Congress, like this young blood that's like 25-year-old that I'm glad out of North Carolina, Western North Carolina. He sounds legit. I like it.
He's doing what's called a table veto, where basically as long as it's not signed before the next legislative session, Basically, Trump can run out the clock on this so that it just doesn't get done unless they decide to have one more legislative session right before the new Congress comes in.
Yo, SMG, yo, Smosh. Oh,
When
shit.
is
Yo, what up, nigga?
What's up? When are you paying your child support, you dumb monkey?
Here we
Yo,
go
man, look,
again.
you know I pay my shit every week, man.
Motherfucker, I have not seen a receipt, so I refuse to believe it. I need to see absolute proof that you are not being to me, monkey.
Really? Yo, really? Like, yo, I bring you on the motherfucking show to come hang the fuck out, and that's what the fuck you come in with?
Yes, because this is the real issue. This is what people care about. They don't care about Trump and his lame duck presidency.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure niggas care about whether or not they're gonna make money at work.
That's their problem. I'm working right now. I'm making money, and I'm an illegal immigrant. Motherfucker, step your game up.
Yeah, but you're not illegal.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm working under somebody else's papers, you dipshit.
Yeah, I'm sure, right? You know what I'm saying? You speak perfect goddamn English and shit, so you're an illegal immigrant at the moment.
You understand that people get brought over when they're babies under other people's names, right?
So you're a DACA recipient?
No, I'm saying somebody died and I took their papers.
That's kind of not how that happens, but okay.
That's exactly how it happens, okay? It's all like a Hollywood movie. You don't understand. I am the golden child. I was brought in to save civilization through shit posting and demanding you
You're
pay
not
your child
Moses,
support.
bro. You're not Moses.
I'm not Moses, I'm Moises.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, right? But like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm actually trying to like have like a real show. I brought you in because like, you know, I put it out there for Samaj, actually. Samaj was talking, but you know, I mean, you're more than welcome to come on. Like, fucking, you know, you're my boy and shit, and I got love for you. You know what I mean? But like, yo, you want to add to the conversation? Or you want to keep talking about fucking child support?
I kind of want to do both, but it's on to you to prove that you pay child support. You're the one holding up this intellectual dialogue
Yeah,
with
look.
your ineptitude.
Yeah, nigga, good shit. Yeah, all right, hold on. Okay, anyway, right. So like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, yo, these fucking young niggas today and shit.
Oh,
You might be
Lord.
joking around, but you know, if we do end up getting Biden, then I am no shit gonna go down to the Guatemalan embassy and get a new ID.
Why specifically Guatemala? If you're gonna get
Because-
an ID, you might have to shop around in a few different nations for that. Just FYI.
Yeah, it's because the Guatemalan
Costa Rica is a
embassy-
great place to go. Just FYI. If you don't,
No.
if you still want to be semi-American, Costa Rica is great. And Panama, they don't give a fuck. They'll just take your damn money.
Yeah, Guatemalan embassy just like
Guatemala's pretty cool,
$500. Yeah, you just walk up to them, give them $500, and just say "No habla inglés," and they'll give you the new paperwork. They'll make up a new name for you and
See,
everything.
the problem is you got to be careful because you do got some, and this isn't a shade because there's some great Guatemalans, but there's some shicey motherfuckers too. That's why I mentioned specifically anybody out there, Costa Rica and Panama. You got to know what nation you're getting.
Stone Mexican guy's a completely legal dude. Like, yo, like, I've known him for probably like 3 years now. Fucking like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, like he's a legal dude. I've known him fucking forever. He's a cool dude.
I can tell the way he
Well,
talks that he's legal.
Yeah, fucking,
Seriously.
yo, old school Wolf Media, man. It's been a while since I've seen you. What's going on, my brother?
Not much. I've been pretty busy with work, so I've had to come off of the YouTube thing.
Yeah, I feel you. I ran into a bit of a medical issue, so like I kind of been doing this a little bit extra as of recently. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a waiting type of deal. I got to wait for my vision to come back, and then like I'm fucking back to work doing what I do.
Is that why you've been doing caps lock everything for the last little while?
Yeah,
So we can
pretty
read
much.
it.
Yeah, I can't fucking see. You know what I mean? And I usually like, I don't know, like when I'm on my computer, usually the caps lock's on. You know what I mean? On my phone, then like usually it's just regular text. But like I can't see shit. I'll be honest with you. At this
Well, now
point.
that you can't see shit, can you spell better?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, cause now it's just I'm typing by like fucking memory. So, you know, like gotta spell everything out in my head. So what's going on, my brother? How you living?
Yeah, I've been watching everything going on. It's just Like, no matter how bad it gets, somehow some more stupid shit happens, and it's like, what? How are people falling for this? How are people not paying attention to some of the shit going on? And
Because
the people that
are
are paying
brainwashed.
attention, they're paying attention to the wrong part. They're not paying attention to what happens 5 years from now, when Saudi Arabia says, "Well, we're done carrying we're done trading in dollars. We're going to trade in yuans." No one's thinking too far enough in the future to understand what could actually be the problem here.
Wait, time out. Why would they change currency?
Well, what happens after how far do we have to destroy our own currency before the world gets pissed off at us? How far do we have to not actually protect our allies and deal with it? Deal with some more friggin' Obama Biden.
First time out though.
Whoa.
Hang on a minute. First off, fuck our allies. They don't pay us to protect them, right? Secondly, all right, the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Like we were protecting everybody and shit is because of the fact that we were fighting the USSR. All right. That was the only reason we did any of that shit. Now that the USSR has been gone for 30 fucking years, we don't need to deal with these fucking people anymore. Fuck Europe, fuck the Middle East. We were fucking oil independent. We don't need any of this fucking bullshit. We have better crude here and more of it than they do in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. We don't need any of them. So no, we shouldn't be protecting our allies. We should let them all fucking go starve. Real shit. They should do for their fucking selves. When's the last time they fucking paid a fucking bill for us?
Oh, we've been flipping the bill for them for quite some time. That's not what I was referring to.
But
that's what I'm saying. We don't need to protect them anymore. They have socialized medicine and fucking all these bullshit programs to pay for their fucking people, cradle the goddamn grave, and what the fuck are they doing for us? While we're over here fucking footing the bill for everything they fucking have. We're over here fighting fucking having our boys die in the desert for them to fucking have natural gas lines and fucking oil pipelines to go into fucking Europe to feed them.
One sec here. I got to say something, then I'm going to let Dip get in. I think YouTube's drunk because I deleted my YouTube channel and all my subscriptions and shit. So, my YouTube is completely blank because, I'm applying for jobs and shit, so I don't need them seeing that I'm following a fucking gorilla that yells about women's rights. They just served me a notification that you went live.
Oh, good. I'm glad they gave you a notification. Maybe my BitFeud will fucking mirror this.
All right, go ahead, Dip.
Here's to that point about Saudi Arabia, and here's what people don't quite understand. I know, Pino, you talk about this. What people don't get is that the United States currency is the world's currency, and not in a way that people think. It's, if anybody knows anything about laundering money, okay? Anybody knows anything about, all right, why is there currency anyways? Why is there standard currencies? Why do governments produce that? Go back to the European monetary nightmare during the medieval period. When you have a consistent standard of any type of currency, any type of gold, any type of silver, et cetera, any type of dollar, et cetera, it makes trade easy. Well, everybody around the world is in bed together. And you can see it not in a one world government shit yet, but it's literally they all use the US dollar because it's simple. And it's tied into everything. And people are like, oh, just cut off the funding. It's not that simple. There's a reason why when in the 2008 housing market, when shit hit New York, it hit the rest of the world. It's the same thing if you go back to the crash of 1929. It shouldn't have hit the rest of the world. But since everybody's tied in together and everybody washes each other with the same monetary currency for the most part, yes, they have their other currencies, but what is it compared to? The US dollar. It's very simple. So no, in 5 years shit ain't gonna change yet, unless something drastically changes.
Yeah.
How much shit has happened so far we thought was not going to happen?
Well, almost none of it. Legit.
Yeah.
Because nothing's really happened.
Yeah, I mean, like all the things that like we've been predicting for the past like 15, 20 years have not come true. You know, like the hyperinflation of the United States currency.
Of course not.
You know, I
Because
mean,
they
the
can't let it
fall of
fail.
Saudi Arabia, fucking, you know, I mean, the China trying to fucking, you know, go and take over the world, fucking, you know, North Korea launching all fucking nukes. All these things that were predicted has never happened.
Because they were all lies. Because who told you? Who told you that this shit was going to happen?
Specifically in this year, though.
Like,
No.
nothing.
Shit
I'm
ain't
not
happened.
talking. I'm not talking
Nothing's
10 years
happened.
ago. I never paid it. Yeah, the stuff they were predicting 10 years ago, I'm not worried about. The stuff that's happening right now this year, with as long as we've been locked down, with all the states continuing to lock down, like, how much dumber does it get?
Like,
That's
you
intentional.
realize that the US dollar actually has been inflated considerably less than basically every other Western fiat currency.
Yep.
Like, we just had a massive crash in the Dixie, the DXY, and it crashed down to like 89. In 2008, it bounced off 70. And DXY is basically the exchange rate of a dollar against a bunch of different other currencies. The reason why America's US dollar has remained strong in this type of thing is for a whole bunch of different reasons. Principally that we have the biggest and best military in the world, even if like right now, I think something like half of our nuclear submarines have just gone dark. Like, we don't know where they're at. Nobody knows where they're at.
That's actually operationally
No, they got
normal.
sold. They got sold.
No. And I'm pretty sure what happened was with this latest hack.
Oh man, it's gonna be a Red Dawn situation. You know,
They just got sold. That's just what happens.
No, we actually that's the actual. No, that is the actual defense plan. You never know where the nuclear subs are.
Yeah. But
so it's not that they went dark; they're always dark.
Some of them got sold. That's just what happens. Like, why is anybody shocked?
But like, yeah, I mean, as far as Saudi Arabia and the yuan, you got to remember, like, you know, China's now the #1 buyer of fucking Middle East oil at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it used to be that China had to pay a premium for all the petrochemicals that it brought in, right? But now they no longer have to, because of the fact that the United States is basically energy independent and isn't importing it anymore. So now, like, instead of all those things going up through like the Suez Canal or whatever, it's all heading down towards China at this point. Like, all the oil is actually aimed there. So them trading in the yuan would be like a normal move as far as things are concerned. But the yuan can't be used as an international currency due to the fucking currency flight.
Yeah.
The currency what?
The
currency
flight.
Basically, right. Last time China tried to open its like monetary borders, something like $2 trillion worth of fucking yuan just up and left.
It didn't leave. Tom, you know how this shit works. You know that shit didn't leave. That shit got put into other stuff. Like, you know how this works.
Well, no. What happened was like, for instance, the Toronto, like when Toronto and Vancouver were having that massive inflation in their in their cities' real estate, like, it was all just Chinese citizens taking Chinese money and they fucking running as fast as they could the fuck out of China into fucking there, and they bought every piece of property they could inside of fucking Vancouver and fucking Toronto.
Yep.
Like, you know, this is what happens every time China tries to fling open the goddamn door.
Probably in Seattle as well.
Yeah, everybody runs off like rats from a sinking ship. Like, that's, you know, they already did it to Australia. You know what I mean?
People need to look at history, Tom. I know you and I talk about this a lot. People need to look at history. The reason that China has been relevant for 4,000 years is it often went internal. It never allowed for the external world to do what it did, both positively and negatively. And, you know, people were scared of China. China, for the longest time, the #1 world producer, U.S. #1 world consumer. China knows that naturally a lot of resources that it needs to compete, it doesn't have. So why the hell would I start war?
It's resource poor. Like, legit, China is
always
resource poor. You know, so like they import damn near everything. They import something like fucking 60% of their fucking food from
Japan's
America.
the same way.
Yeah,
North
you know what I mean?
Korea
Like,
is the same way. All of them are the same way, and people are afraid of them. No, the United States literally, and they know it too. It's just facade to make people afraid.
On top of that, China has no blue water navy to be able to defend trade routes, and they're resource poor. Like, yo, they're you should not be scared of China in any way, shape, or form.
China's like most of the rest of the world. If Americans actually traveled, you know what they would find? The rest of the world's like, oh, thank you for visiting our nation. We're glad for your money. Everybody around the world chill as fuck. The only issue that they have is American imperialism, which pretty much most Americans are pissed off about as well. Everybody around the world is pissed off at imperialism. Everybody around the world, most regular citizens are like, dude, we don't want war. We think this is all horseshit.
I agree. I do think we should hang all bankers.
Well, you think that's gonna solve the solution? People don't understand this is a multifaceted problem. It always has.
Like, you know, we could really solve the problem, and it's very, very easy. If you repeal Citizens United, you know, I mean, that'd be a damn good start to help out. Or repealing the 19th, that would probably help as well. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Stopping women from voting isn't gonna solve this shit. Because most of the time, how it's played, they don't give a damn. That at this point they've accumulated decades of power that they don't care. They can tell you that motherfuckers are corrupt. They can tell you what they're doing. And people, like I was a dude on Instagram, for example. He didn't even, I've heard the allegations for Biden. Oh, but I still think he's the best solution for America. And I'm just simply like, good God Almighty, bro! Like y'all are that brainwashed.
That happened with.
And again, I'm not a pro-Trump, but I look at the facts. I'm like, he's like, I need proof that you'll say all this shit about Donald Trump where there's literally no proof. But for Joe Biden, there are decades of proof.
I mean, how about the stuff that there is proof for, right? Like, it's not like, how about this one? Like, yo, he's the first president we've had since Jimmy Carter that didn't start a fucking war.
Donald Trump? Definitely.
Yep. They don't care about that.
Actually pardoning black folks who did nothing. But we won't talk about that. No. That doesn't actually fucking matter.
No,
getting people jobs. No, that doesn't
everything
matter.
that they expected Obama to do.
Exactly. Literally everything. That's why a lot of black folks are down with Trump, or at least are like, all right, we'll give him a shot.
Well, like the hood's dumb though. That's the problem. It's like there's far
it ain't the hood though.
Yo,
Tom,
it is.
If you look at back for decades, this whole black voting Democrat 90%, I don't fully buy now. I think these motherfuckers been lying for decades. I really do.
No. Like, you got to remember, man. Like, yo, they vote Democrat because, like, the Democrats, like, yo, you have to remember the hood is dumb. All right.
I know what you're saying, Tom, and we've criticized as black folks have criticized us, but we know how crooked these motherfuckers are. I'm thinking that they motherfucking lied and made up, because I don't think a lot of folks actually voted. I think a lot of those numbers are just fraudulent to begin with.
Yeah. Well, everybody believes that, you know,
because it's really like this election exposed. I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was this bad, kind of thing. Even I was a little bit surprised how bad it was.
You mean you didn't think it was normal for people to be putting up freaking cardboard boxes into windows?
No. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how deep of the numbers it goes. I knew shit was off. I know it's this off. These numbers, first of all, that the amount of votes is fraudulent to begin with. Even if you didn't want to believe in any fraud for both sides, there's no way in hell 150 million votes came in. No way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Not even close.
Yeah. I mean, we had counties with like 200% voter turnout, just something absolutely retarded.
That's totally normal, though. This is the safest election ever.
Yeah,
tell you, as a black person, most black folks don't vote, so that should already tell you that, a lot of these numbers from the hood ain't right.
Well, no, all of them vote. You know what I'm saying? They just don't vote on their own. You know, I mean, they fucking, you know, other people vote for them. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Most black folks I ever know don't vote, bro. I'm just gonna let y'all know. So they're 90% black. That ain't right.
Oh, hey man, you're not voting? I'll vote for you.
Did you see The Irishman by chance?
Yes.
Yo, fuck, you remember that voter part of that joint when they fucking got JFK elected?
Yes.
Yeah, that is normal. Like,
of course.
legit.
Of course. Come on now. And I mean, back in the day, they were also letting blacks not vote. So there you go. Or they would make it difficult for blacks not to vote. So, it's the same old game.
Yeah. I got you. And I mean, like, I understand completely. Like, dude, I'm from the hood. I know how the fuck things work. And believe me, blacks vote Democrat because, like, celebrities are Democrats. You know what I mean? And like,
well, it was what we were taught. Most of it was what we were taught. But for a lot of us, we're looking back and going, this is why I say I and a lot of others are going, wait a minute. We know a lot of blacks voted Democrat, but a lot of us are saying, wait a minute. It could have been, for all we know, because again, how do we verify any of this? How many of them may have actually been voting Republican or different shit, independent, or who God knows what, for all these decades, and the shit just was twisted? We don't know.
Think about it like this, right? Like, for instance, all right, so they're taking down a Robert E. Lee statue in Washington, D.C., right?
Which I disagree with.
I made a video about this, right? Because, like, I thought it was fucking retarded just to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Like, Robert E. Lee shouldn't represent Virginia in the same way that George Patton shouldn't represent California, right?
Robert E. Lee was great, but anyways, that's a whole.
No. I'm saying though, right? Like, he shouldn't represent Virginia in the way that George Patton shouldn't represent California, right? Like, he's a fucking general. The person who should be representing fucking Virginia is Thomas Jefferson. Like, it's that simple. It should just be Thomas Jefferson.
Actually, Lee is as Virginia gets. If you actually know the history of Lee, you'll understand how he's as Virginia as Jefferson is. But
no,
it's more. He's more than a general.
No. Okay, like, look, if you were going to pick somebody for Pennsylvania, who would you pick as the person who represents Pennsylvania?
Ben Franklin.
Or there's only
specifically
one.
Pennsylvania.
Only one other.
Andrew
person.
Carnegie?
No, it would be fucking William Penn, right? It'd be either William Penn or motherfucking Thomas, or William Penn or Ben Franklin, right? Like, why? Because that's who was there in the fucking when the Constitution was signed.
But it's not just the constitutional aspect. What actually represents a homeland?
No, like, it's simple. It should be the person who was there when your state was formed. It's that basic. You know what I mean? Like, who was
if you're going to go Virginia, you have like literally 50 different options. You can go Patrick Henry, you can go George Washington, you can go Tommy Jefferson, you can go James Madison, James Monroe. I can go into literally 50 different individuals.
You go to Thomas Jefferson. It's that simple, right? Because
just pick Washington then. If you're going to do that, just pick Washington.
Washington was the first president, so he represents the whole of the country, right?
What I'm saying is, Virginia literally for the first 5 presidents were Virginians. It was the Virginia dynasty. So
I'm trying to think here. Who was it? It was fucking
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Adams, James Madison, and James Monroe, all Virginian.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Take your pick.
Well, John Adams was fucking Massachusetts.
Yes. He's the only one of the first 5.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to go to Massachusetts, it should be, John Adams, right? And this is how it should work. Well, yeah, but this is how it should work. You know what I'm saying? Legit. That's how, like, the whole thing should work. It should be like, who was the guy, you know what I'm saying, who fucking, like, pick one of the dudes who signed the Declaration of Independence or the fucking, the Constitution. Pick one of the two, right? And, like, one of those dudes should be the guy who represents you in Washington, just in general, as a statue, if you were going to have a representation of your state, at least for the first 13. And then after that, you can go governors or, fucking senators are the first ones in your state. But now, like, what they want to do is they want to put up a black female who led fucking 250 person fucking civil rights activism thing at her fucking high school, right, in 1961.
Well, again, I don't have a problem with Lee because for many in the South, the Civil War, and especially
I'm saying let's have some basic rules so shit's okay. Like, why are you picking popular people? You know what I'm saying? Just pick a person who was fucking there when your state was formed, and that represents your state to the fucking country. That way we don't have this stupid fucking argument about, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, fucking this statue or whatever. Like, yeah, look, this was the fucking first person who did this or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's that. It's that simple. You know what I mean? That way we don't have to have
I don't think it's that simple. Like, I don't have a look. Either have no statues or have statues for a bunch of famous people. I don't have a problem with them. Honestly,
No, it's one statue that's representing them in the fucking crypt at fucking DC.
Yeah, and I honestly think the whole bunch of statues thing was the whole idea behind the Garden of Heroes or whatever.
right.
But that ended up being a whole shit show too.
Because I think statues should, and here's why I disagree with this notion about the founding. First of all, you get into a whole point of contention with that as well. But here's the thing: the point about statues, it's memorabilia. It's the same thing as a cemetery. And no disrespect to the dead, but that's the whole point. It's about remembering history. My issue about destroying, unless it's certain specific entities, is you're literally erasing history. It's no different from burning a book. And that's what people don't understand, is when you take out things, you're taking out any future generation's remembrance of history. People don't understand that, though. Why that's so important.
I forget who said it exactly, but one of my favorite quotes about statues is anyone who had a statue built of him was some kind of a bastard.
I definitely disagree with that notion.
Oh, no, I completely agree with that notion. Like you don't end up climbing to the top of anything if you're not an asshole. And Ricky Dawson, what up, man? Welcome. Templar, motherfucking anonymous rogue, fucking everybody else who showed up. I'm not fucking scrolling up right now. I don't feel like it. But I want to say what up to everybody.
But
I won't say everybody at the top's an asshole. It's just why are you remembered?
It's the same kind of concept of like, what's the difference between like a insurgent and a freedom fighter, right? It's the same type of thing. If you are fighting for something, you're fighting against someone. And that means that there are some people who think that you were a bastard and that there are some people who are going to think that you're a hero. And they're both going to be kind of right.
I disagree with that comparison. The reason as to why is,
how can
it's
you
always about the why?
Fucking comparison. Freedom fighters are just the niggas who history remembered well.
I disagree. Insurgent versus freedom fighter. Why is it that you're fighting? The whys always matter. For example, I have no problem with most, not everyone, but most, let's say German/Nazi soldiers, Russian soldiers, Japanese or American soldiers, because of the whys that they were actually fighting for. It's different from a motherfucker just trying to commit a coup and just trying to take over shit. There's a huge difference.
No. All right. Everybody has their reasons why they do things, right? But like, who gets remembered well is like, who the fuck gets called a freedom fighter and who gets called a goddamn revolutionary and who gets called a fucking insurgent. You know what I mean? Is about who fucking wrote the history books and at what point. That's the important part.
Yeah,
exactly. Because those who write the history books, most of it, and I keep saying it's not the winners, it's the survivors that write the history book.
And again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you're fucking being pedantic about dumb shit. You know what I mean? Legit.
But Tom, you're saying it's pedantry and you're saying that is dumb, but this is literally how language is used and how it seeps into the subconscious and it forms the way that people think from birth. That's what people don't understand is they don't care about the semantics because they don't understand how language is weaponized against people.
But George Washington was a rebel to the fucking English. You know,
absolutely.
What I mean? Right.
Absolutely.
Like to an American, he's the goddamn father of the country. Like that's the difference between the freedom fighter and the motherfucking revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? And the goddamn
freedom fighter is a revolutionary. So it's the same thing.
No, it depends. It doesn't. Like, it's about who gets labeled what. You know what I mean? Like, you can have revolutionary fucking, like, for instance, you had the Nation of Islam individuals were fucking called revolutionaries and shit, right? The Weather Underground was called revolutionaries and shit, but they were still blowing niggas up.
Well, their tactics.
Everybody is some kind of bastard. Like, it is what it is. If you have a statue at some point, you did something bananas to fucking make sure that you got that goddamn statue. You were an asshole to somebody.
Or you could have helped a lot of people by funding them, and they removed you as
or
such.
You were an asshole to somebody, right? Like, it's very simple. Like, you had to be an asshole at some point to get a goddamn statue of yourself put up. Legit. It's just how the fuck things work. Like, yo, great men don't end up motherfucking conquering shit and becoming great by fucking being nice to everyone. It's not how it works. Like, yo, you want to take over a goddamn country, you're going to have to be not only fucking ruthless, you're going to have to stand here and be like the type of person who's willing to tell niggas to go paint the leaves green and build the heaviest building in the fucking world. I think you were there for that bit, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, again, it goes to back.
That was like the best stream ever, if I'm perfectly honest. Legit.
But
we spent like fucking 25 minutes talking about a goddamn building.
It was like 30 minutes, bro.
Like, yo, legit. Like, yo, we spent the last part of the fucking stream just like, yo, look at this goddamn building. Just going through the facts about how big this fucking building is. It was built by a ruthless fucking dictator, right? Who like legitimately had niggas go out and paint the leaves and grass green, right, before he showed up to places to make sure that fucking everywhere he showed up to looked beautiful. Like, yo,
I think that's because things started going dark and not everybody's able to mentally maintain darkness. Like, they're like, I can't do that. I need something positive to look at. I'm dead serious. That's how a lot of people are
you know, look, every leader has these type of traits. All right. Because, like, all right, I always had this theory, right, inside of my head about cognitive development, right? Because if you stand here and you end up and you're gifted in one thing, it's going to take away from something else, right? For instance, Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying, is the greatest basketball player ever. He can, you know what I mean, defy gravity. No, he's the greatest basketball player ever. Get the fuck out of here, right?
LeBron James, I make that argument, but anyways, that's a whole different thing.
Yo, man, look, seriously, stop arguing with me about dumb shit. Stop being pedantic.
That's not dumb. It's a legitimate debate, but anyways, continue.
Yo, it's not. You know, it's not a debate. Get the fuck
no, it's not. I know it legitimately is. I do have LeBron over
Yo,
MJ.
You can't say LeBron James is as great as Michael Jordan.
Yes, right? I definitely can. If you know basketball,
you cannot. I do know basketball.
Okay, do you know what LeBron has done?
I know LeBron has maintained longevity, but on the same point, he plays in a fucking era where it's okay for him to take nights off.
Which nights does he take off? Jordan took years off, but we don't want to talk about that.
Jordan took 1 year off, and that's because of the fact that he was betting on fucking games.
It was more than 1 year. Also, he retired twice and he came back twice, but nobody wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, no. I do like to talk because he went and played baseball. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not talking about just that time. He retired after '98 as well, by the way. LeBron never retired.
All right. Can we just run through those stats real quick? Jordan versus LeBron. Points, Jordan 30.1. LeBron 27.1. Rebounds, Jordan 6.2. LeBron 7.4.
Yo, it's fucking Goot. Goddamn Goot kid. My nigga Goot. Hold up. Fucking like,
I already know that LeBron beats him in in rebounds and assists, by the way. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's very nip and tuck. Let's just put it that way.
I was just helping for the people in the cheap seats, but
because like I was gonna make the point that like legit, you don't become good at something like without fucking having like some other part of your brain fucked up, right? Like you don't end up being like, you know what I mean, fucking Einstein without fucking your goddamn cousin. Like it's just how it works. Like, yo, that happened. Right? Nikola Tesla was the smartest man who ever lived, and he married a pigeon.
Apparently, you've never had pigeon pussy.
Yeah, Gutenberg. I did post a link to the fucking hangout in the chat, nigga, because like, yo, you're here, and if you want to come in, you're more than welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fucking, you know the deal. Like, I got love for you, my brother. Right? But like, yeah, this is kind of where I'm at. Like, if you like, you don't end up being like some fucking great, amazing motherfucker who's able to do all types of shit without having some part of your brain be completely and utterly fucking broken. Like Bill Clinton was probably the smartest president since Thomas Jefferson. The nigga tried to fuck every piece of seriously, he was. Yeah. Right? Like he tried to fuck every goddamn fucking piece of pussy he fucking that crossed his fucking path. Like it just is what it is. Gutenberg, my nigga.
Dude, why are you acting up? This is retarded.
Why? What do you mean I'm acting up?
Yo, did you go eat snow down there? Did you get any snow?
No, we got fucking bombed.
You got
Hey,
bombed?
Jen's taking off.
Yeah, we got we had 2 feet of fucking snow on the ground. It's melted a bunch of it because of like the rain and it's been warm the past couple of days.
Oh yeah, dude. We're about to get like a couple inches of rain up here. We got like 3 feet, dude, at my house, and we're about to get some rain tomorrow. So it's all gonna be going. How you been, though, my dude? I mean, other than living.
I ran in a little bit of a medical issue. You know what I'm saying? But I'm fucking getting through, handle my business. Fucking, how are you doing?
What is that like? Medical weed? What do you
Taking
mean?
off, Gents. Have a Merry Christmas.
Hey man, dude.
All right, later, old school wolf. Thank you for being on, my brother.
Have a Merry Christmas, my
Always
dude.
happy to see you guys.
Yeah, you too, man.
Peace.
All right.
Did someone
fucking-
put pigeon pussy? Did I miss something? How did that
Yeah.
go?
Nicola, I said, fucking, you don't end up being the smartest man who's ever lived without fucking a pigeon, right? Because Nikola Tesla married a pigeon.
I mean, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, like,
more. I mean, like,
Einstein, like, was fucking trying to fuck his goddamn sister or some shit, or his cousin or something.
I think he married his cousin.
And then there's Isaac Newton, who wrote basically the thesis of calculus.
Well, there you go.
While the plague was going on, and he just shut himself in his family's mansion and ignored everyone dying around him.
Well, I mean, sometimes fuck your family. You gotta figure out, physics and shit. I don't know.
I mean,
Well,
what was
like,
he? What else was
started-
he supposed to do exactly?
Well, like,
Exactly.
we started off.
I mean, I don't think that was stupid. I think that was smart. Like,
There was
I
no
mean,
Twitch shit back in the day.
like, you know who Ceausescu
It was
was?
cold.
Gutenberg.
No, that sounds really familiar, but I can't.
Yeah,
recall.
he was a dictator in Romania in the 1990s.
Okay, that's not now. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and like he built like the world's largest goddamn building, right? And everywhere he went, he had his fucking servants paint the leaves and grass green before he showed up.
That's awesome.
Right. I mean, but like, that's kind of where it's at. You know what I mean?
Tom, I wouldn't necessarily say everybody's an asshole, but one thing I have said about genius and insanity is there's a very thin razor's line between genius and insanity. You can look at pretty much every great inventor, every great artist, every great scientist. There is something that if it kind of on the Joker mentality that if you just tweak something a little bit different, a lot of the greatest quote unquote criminals of all time, they were geniuses. They just decided to put their skills in a different light.
Well,
Or even I'm sorry, or even comedians, dude. Like I don't like the basic bellwether. I want my comedians or my personalities. I want them to be a little fucked up. Like Joaquin Phoenix. You ever watch an interview of that guy? Amazing.
With a name like that, you probably are going to be fucked up. I'm sorry, his parents did a terrible job with his name. They did.
Well, 100%. Like I love the story of fucking crazy people. I love it.
Yeah. Van Gogh. I think Van Gogh is the example of why I got on this hypothesis. And then you look at history. You mentioned Einstein, Nikola Tesla. It's not a surprise because their view of reality in the world is different. I'm that kind of way myself. It's just very intelligent people view things differently.
Is it different?
Look at Mark Zuckerberg. That nigga's a fucking robot and shit.
Yeah, he might be borderline cyborg, dead serious, or android. He might be actually.
He's legit an alien. I don't care what anybody
says. I think he's an android. You look at him, Elon. You ever listen to Elon Musk talk? I remember the first time listening to him, like, okay, I don't know who this guy is. Everybody hyped him up. Then I listened to him on like Joe Rogan and shit. I'm like, okay, these guys got to be some kind of androids or shit. Nobody talks like that.
Watch how he drinks water. That is not correct.
You think he drinks water? He be sipping, but be fake sipping, bro.
Exactly. It's probably like
one program drink water.
100%.
Like Zuckerberg literally looks like a bicentennial man. Dead serious.
Yes. He's drinking 10W40 because he's got to keep himself lubricated. 100%.
Like, they can fake drink water.
Like, you don't end up that smart without having parts of you that are fucking broken, right? So you don't end up with. You're not going to end up with Bill Gates. But Bill Gates has
fucked up, bro.
All right, like that nigga likes to put on goats' heads and dance underneath of a mountain. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is.
He literally laughs and gets glee when he talks about literally destroying humanity.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Again, like, yo, you don't end up with the statue if you're not some kind of bastard.
Yo, when are we gonna start shooting these motherfuckers? I'm sorry, Tom P. I don't mean
Good luck at that, motherfucker. People out here be trying to say that shit. I'm like, dude, you're not going to. And if you do that, you try to chop off the head. You know what happens? You get worse. It's the mob mentality. You get worse. Because in order to become greater, you have to be worse in that case.
Oh, I know a lot of people that are way worse.
That's my point.
Mentally.
Yes. Because people think I got to be more savage.
Oh, I wish I was that savage. I wish I had. I know. Listen, no, because the greatest people of all time have always had to have that savage bone, as long as they had the morality to take care of the people around them. It never turned that bad, right?
To be that savage, you don't have the morality, though.
Well,
that's
I mean,
problem.
Of course, we have to
look at John Gotti.
Sure, well, that's a different case, but I mean,
it's not though.
No, but the morality to want to take care of the people around you, your own versus the other. See, like people always say, like Hitler, Stalin. Stalin resented his people. Hitler loved his people. There's like a slight.
Stalin
difference.
was worse.
Stalin was
the most savage people are the worst. Alexander the Great. You think he loved people? No, no way in hell.
No, he seen everybody as his servant.
Like the mob, right? The great dons, the good ones that lasted, they weren't the most savage.
No,
the ones who were the most savage didn't last long.
No, because all your people would want to kill you. That's what I'm saying. Like the people around you, you would want to, take care of them. And like even like Genghis Khan, like their story. If you ever looked up on, read like or listen, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Dan Carlin is probably the best.
Dan Carlin is the shit, dude.
His 10-hour thing on Genghis Khan, like you totally understand. You're like, all right, these guys came from nothing. They wanted to conquer everything, but he always took care of the people around him. But
Genghis,
fuck everybody else.
Genghis kind of transformed. Like if you notice any patriarch, like any pioneer, they have to set the groundwork for everything that is to come. They're sometimes some of the most ruthless because out of necessity. Now, I don't agree with everything. John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, I can go down the list. J.P. Morgan, because their descendants are like, listen, I set up this for you so that you don't have to. Kind of mentality.
Well, like Genghis Khan, though, like, he was well aware of what would come, right? And he told him, he said, look, I don't want my sons and I don't want, like my people to fucking end up inside of a city. Right. He said, I don't want you to lay your head in the castle. He said, I want you to maintain and stay out in the steppes. And his kids immediately went into a fucking castle and his entire fucking empire collapsed.
Because it's the allure of luxury and wealth. That's always life is a paradox in so many ways.
Is it
like
that
when
about
you make greatness, you want to indulge in it. But because those children didn't go through the struggle.
Right.
Well, look what King David, look at Solomon, then you look at Rehoboam, and you'll see what happened in Israel.
Machiavelli said, he said virtue is not fucking a heritable trait.
Nope, not at all. You have to teach it.
What is that great meme? Like strong men create weak men, weak men.
Strong men create fucking good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times create great men.
And that's where we're at in Western society. We're just surrounded by weak men. The next generation,
civilized, and I'm anti-civilization. It's not that I'm like I just want to destroy everything.
I am too. Like I think legit. Like I've come down to the conclusion. I've come down to my conclusion in my studies of fucking cultures and civilizations throughout history. I think cities are our greatest liability. And our greatest fucking creations, right? Like, it's our.
I don't know, man. I like Wi-Fi. I don't know, dude.
But you can have that without having cities.
Well, no. Like, here's the thing. Like, you're able to feed and create the opportunity for a lot of people to be able to be okay inside of a city. But on the same point, inside of a city, it festers and breeds bullshit and socialism and creates weak men who aren't going to be able to defend a city.
You know why? Because it's easy. It's easy.
Exactly,
It's fucking
convenience. But
easy.
not only the convenience, I blame it's a two, if not three-pronged thing. Number one, women, and then I can get
Yes.
into as to why
Yes.
that is.
These fucking
Number
women.
two,
Sorry.
because all right, the reason I say women is because of what women select. See, this is what happens when, and I don't blame women on this. It's just what they're indoctrinated. So it's a full circle.
Well,
I
it's
blame
not what they're
men because
indoctrinated. Like, yo, their natural preference in the wild is for a nigga like me, right? Who's able to like break jaws and, you know, what I mean,
Right.
carry himself well and feed the family and go hunting and be strong and, you know, what I mean, do the work and all that type of shit. But the thing is like that dude doesn't do well in, you know, what I mean, a new society where you need a glass-eyed engineering degree to be able to do anything.
What it is are women are nurturers and carers, are men and the builders of civilizations, bridges. Like it is so stupid, fucking simple. But like you put a whole bunch of women in power, what they do,
Well,
all of a sudden it's a bunch
here's
of
why I
emotions.
blame men
Shut
before
the fuck
women.
up, dude. Gutenberg was
Oh, my
talking.
bad, my bad.
No. I really like what he's saying. I want to hear it. Go ahead.
Here's why I blame men before women, because you're correct. Because men, what happens is, and it goes back to what you were talking about, what both of y'all were talking about earlier, when men become soft. See, they hate on the ones who are actually strong. Tom, you talked about what happens naturally, right?
Yeah.
Well, the strong men they want to emasculate them. And then they say to the women, go for me, go for me, go for me. So the guys who are the actual legitimate, you can say the alpha males, are hated on and made to look horrible. And then it comes into third. What do? Well, let's just legislate out masculinity and femininity. And then you get fuckery.
Not bad point.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, like it goes down to socialism though, right? I mean, like it's like working what's socially cohesible inside of a fucking city.
It's
right?
more it's the flip end of Marxism. Instead of the working versus the bourgeoisie, it's the underclass versus the oppressed. It's just the flip of Marxism. That's all it is. Right?
I mean, what do you mean like the working class versus the oppressed?
Well, I mean, it's Marxism, but flipped in a different way. The oppressor versus the oppressed. That's all it is. They boasted women so high that you can do all this and all that, and totally demasculated men over the last, 40, 50, 60 years?
Yep.
You know?
I have a theory about that.
Hold on. Look at every commercial that comes out. The male is always seen as the dumb one, the dunce, the retard. He's the guy working 60, 70 hours a fucking week, right? And then the woman's like, oh.
Or you make it hyper masculine to the point where he's this out of control, reckless, destroy everything, stupid. No actual masculinity of self-control, discipline, etc. Like you look at the Greek soldiers and the Roman soldiers who were stoics. Fuck stoicism.
Right.
We want the flashy men.
Well, I have this theory that like men have lost their place in the world due to the nuclear bomb. Right.
I agree.
Like when you take away the ability, like, because like, all right, so if you look at the basic civilizational structure, right, like the reasons why you're able to be okay or you're able to fucking like be a man and be in control of a civilization is because of the fact that like you're the one that goes and fights for it. You're the one that's needed for the military. You go and kill everybody, right?
But what is it? The fight is protection for your offspring and the women.
Right. Yeah. Right. So like, here's the thing: when a government can drop a nuclear bomb on somebody, and you no longer need soldiers, you take away the fucking very basic premise of what a man is supposed to be in your civilization.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think right.
But doesn't it go before even the nuke? Because you brought up a point, Tom, a lot that made me think, and that brought back to my memory about Patton, which I still got to learn more about him. Because you were saying that they were afraid of Patton even then, and all Patton was.
No, it's not so much they were afraid of Patton. Like this has been a reoccurring theme in our civilization since goddamn Socrates and shit, right?
Okay.
It's this mentality that you're always going to hate the men who conduct the war. Like you're not going to want the same man who is at war to be the individual in your fucking town, right?
Why not though?
Why be okay?
That
well,
doesn't
here's
make
the
any
thing.
sense to me.
Here's the thing, right? So the individuals who like, like the old like westerns where you had some dude ride into town and you had to go
Clint
rescue
Eastwood.
some kid. Yeah, you had to go rescue some kid. But in the end of the day, the guy always had to leave, right? Like he'd go and he'd kill 7, 8, 10 fucking people to get that kid back, right? And bring the kid back to town. But the dude wasn't allowed to be in
Unless
town.
they made him a sheriff.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, yo,
Okay.
he could never be a part of that fucking town.
He's a vicious wolf dog that had to leave town because everyone knew what he was, but he was a certain necessity at the time.
Yep. There you go.
The psychology of superheroes. But continue. That just made me think of a lot of superheroes.
Yeah, that's the basic premise of things, right? Is that like the individuals who save your society are the same individuals who, you don't want in your society.
Frank Castle, like the Punisher.
Yes.
Like that kind
Batman,
of guy.
Bruce Wayne. As much Spider-Man, Peter Parker.
Like,
Superman, Kal-El, you can name the whole
You
lot.
need these men in your society. You have to have them, right? It's a fucking necessity because, like, without them, you're going to end up losing your society to other people who are like him in other societies
That have way worse intentions. And you need sheepdogs, but people don't want the sheepdogs around because they realize what they're capable of.
Well, I wouldn't say sheepdogs. They want the sheepdogs, but the wolves, they don't want the wolves.
Well, they don't want. Well, the sheepdogs. If you ever read, I read a book that literally changed my perspective. It's called. It's by I think it's a retired ranger named Lieutenant Grossman. It's called "On Killing: The Art of Combat and Killing in War," and it is. I actually listened to an audiobook. I didn't read. I don't fucking read.
But it was On Killing. I gotta look that one up. That's
On Killing. It is a very, very introspective look on how people view you as a killer for good.
Mm-hmm.
And it really fucking kind of like people don't really want you around till they need you around, and then you're harrowed. But once the time to get good, they look at you as a savage.
You ever watch the show Shooter?
I mean that's I have watched that show Shooter with Mark.
I watched all 3 seasons. Finish that. That shit is one of the greatest series of all time.
It's great, right? But on the same point, like again, they don't want that type of person in your society, right? Like they don't want the hero archetype in our society.
I wish I had the balls enough to be that fucking archetype, but I probably don't.
As someone who does shit, it is not glamorous. You are not loved. You are, but you are. It's a weird dichotomy. You are when you're needed, but let me just put it this way: in this day and age, women don't necessarily. They'll befriend you, but they don't necessarily love you on that regard.
Well, I see a change though happening. Like, I'm 41. I see a lot of younger dudes around my area. I'm in like north central Pennsylvania, so like my area may be a little different, but I see a lot more dudes like taking on that persona or even that like that culture of blue collarness that I didn't see like 20 years ago. And that I see younger guys now more so than I did before, like wanting to portray themselves as like a blue collar American type of
blue collar is not the problem though. Blue collar is normal. Is a normal person. Right, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Well, I mean, I think we go through cycles with that though, because we had that back in like the late 90s. I don't know if you remember like the Jeff Foxworthy and all that fucking bullshit.
Larry the Cable Guy. Yep.
I always scoffed at those fucking dudes.
I didn't because like the thing is like, I was up in Perry County when all that shit was happening, like up in the fucking woods. Like, those were my people. You know what I mean? Like fucking that's where like we came from and shit.
I know what you're saying, but like 20 years ago, I think, in my opinion, like the younger kids that were coming up were more like kind of like taking on like a inner city kind of vibe to them. Like they wanted to act, they wanted to be like, like cooler.
Well, yeah, they were portraying the strong individuals that they saw in like fucking rap music.
Exactly.
Well, it depends because again, you mentioned Jeff Foxworthy.
I can bring up Larry the Cable Guy, but I bring up Stone Cold Steve Austin. Does anybody know why Stone Cold was so beloved to this day?
Because you didn't give a fuck.
Everything that he represented, the working class, the working man,
Yeah,
you know, that didn't give a fuck, but it was a targeted didn't give a fuck. It wasn't just this outlandish. It was him versus the powers that be. It was everything that it was really 90s as fuck, honestly. It was
Right,
everything that the 90s represented.
I can't disagree with you because I believe that's the greatest analogy you could have brought up.
To this day, everybody, as soon as that glass breaks, every time he shows up, people love him to this day.
I still get fucking like chills when I hear that shit.
Yep. Every one of us does. Pat McAfee had him on and he was just fanboying and geeking out. Like we all loved him because of what he represents.
I'm more of a WCW guy, but I mean,
Sting's my favorite of all time. My favorite pro wrestler of all time.
My favorite. Big sexy fucking, are you kidding me? Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash was dick, but I feel you.
Scott Hall, like the Outsiders. Come on,
yeah.
They enjoyed the fucking red and black. And
Matthew Keller, what up, man? I apologize. Like somehow we got on the wrestling for no fucking reason.
Because wrestling. Like
we're
a lot of people don't understand the psychology of pro wrestling and what it represents.
All of a sudden, it's turned into fucking, you know, what I mean, Tonka's fucking channel. But yeah, let's get away from fucking wrestling and let's get back to the ideology of like the blue collar and shit, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I know more about.
Right.
Well, it's because the reason I brought up pro wrestling is because the psychology of what it represents. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes back in the day.
You always want to stand here and like fucking bring it back to pop culture. And again, I think that's part of the black experience in America is like y'all motherfuckers legit be looking at pop culture instead of like
Tom,
really.
It's not that. No, Tom. It's because if I start talking about different philosophers, most people won't know what the fuck I'm talking about, Tom. Let's be honest.
Well, niggas over here will know what you're talking about.
Pop culture does influence generations. It's not.
Yes, that's why I brought up Stone Cold because he literally represented everything we were just talking about.
But the world hates men like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's the point.
Hates men like that.
They love him as far as the fantasy. Every hero.
Yeah, but every time you run into one of those dudes, that nigga's on the way to a back of a fucking squad car after whooping his wife's ass.
Wait, why does he have to whoop his wife's ass?
And what she say to deserve it?
Yeah, I feel where you are.
Not all dudes are in control as fuck.
That was a joke. But I mean,
but like legit though, and this is kind of where I get back to, and I mean, with my mentality of like the men's thing, like I think that men should be running their fucking families as a whole, right?
Absolutely,
and should have, and like society as a whole should have confidence in them to do so, and we don't have that confidence
because women are taught that men aren't capable.
Right.
Well, number one, but number two, because men aren't taught to be capable anymore.
Yep.
Man, this turned into a MGTOW stream like in 30 seconds.
Yo, that's not MGTOW. You have a lot of women talking about this as well.
I think that's a lot of society right
now.
That's
just real.
No. I agree. It was kind of a joke, but no, you're 100% right. I agree.
Right, like, you know, that's kind of where I get down to. Like, nobody has faith in you as a father to be able to raise a child. They don't have faith in you as a man to be a fucking husband. Like, they don't think that you should be running your fucking family. They think that your wife should be doing things. And you know, I mean, like 90% of the time, like, your women don't want to really run things. They just hate the fact that their fathers told them what to do. Like, I was having a conversation today about like fucking children's services bitches. 99% of them are just spinsters who are pissed off at their dad.
So how do we repeal the 19th? Like, how do we put these bitches back in check? Because I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I feel where you are, right? Like, I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, what needs to happen is society needs to fucking collapse, right? And then once society collapses, then we can get back to, you know what I mean, like a mentality of going, yeah, y'all don't get your fucking rights back. Because the last time we gave them to you, like, you tried to like bring in a whole bunch of motherfuckers who wanted to cut off your clitorises and you were all right with it. Like, yo, no, you don't get to do that again.
Be careful, Tom. That people are going to accuse you of being an anarchist. Be careful. We talk about society collapsing. I know you are.
Right, like I am pro society collapsing and then rebuilding much smaller ones inside of this country, because like this should be like 10 different countries.
Yo, do any of you guys ever dream
Pretty
like
much what it is.
if you could survive during like an apocalypse? Like I
I've
have.
written 2 books about this. Like,
Oh, there we go. I mean, there we go.
Well,
But
what
dude,
type of apocalypse are you talking about, though?
I mean,
Because
okay,
that does depend.
it does depend. Not like a fucking Walking Dead bullshit, but more like
Yeah.
like the super volcano under Yosemite.
Oh, if it's a
blows
super
up.
volcano, most people are fucked.
Oh yeah, most people are fucked.
Like, put me on. I don't care how much of a prepper you are. People don't understand what a natural disaster unless you've been through that shit. And I have, being from South Florida with hurricanes, it changes your perspective entirely.
I'm saying don't discount us Pennsylvanians out because we're pretty resourceful.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not diminishing that.
I don't know.
What I'm saying
yeah,
is,
we're
for
good.
example,
Like, we're fine. Like, everybody's like, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, nigga, there's water coming out the side of the rocks. We are all right now.
Dude, I got water running into my basement right now. Like,
Right.
I mean, like,
Well, here's why I say, depending on which type of apocalypse, Revolution did a phenomenal job as a series on that. If the electrical grid, for example, fell off, that
like
changes everything.
And
like
EMP,
EMP.
yo, an EMP probably
kind
the
of,
best
kind of.
apocalypse to live through. Real shit. Like, yo, because that just means all of a sudden
Yeah.
everybody that knows how to do shit without electricity, like if you lived like pre-computers, yo, your life is going to be really good.
Yo, I'm all right. I think I'm
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
cool too. Like, I'm good. You know, what I mean, I grew up, you know,
I'm
on the side of
Gucci.
the
I'll be
mountain,
able to
in an
survive. I'll be
outhouse.
able to protect
I'm
those.
cool.
Literally, like Hank Williams.
I
song,
would rather
just
not,
get-
but I can do it.
I
It's one of
just
those
get a
things.
buck. I can run a trout line.
Not lying.
I'll be completely fucking
Hey,
fine.
Country Boy will survive. But anyways,
Exactly. No, 100%. Like, I feel like I'd be fucking cool. But I
Yeah.
always wondered, like, what would the power structure? I mean, eventually there'd be there'd be a month of consolidation, and then after 3 months, cliques would form. And then
here's
after
the
about
problem.
6 months, after about
Our
6
government's
months,
still in place.
yeah,
question that we have.
but
Because
the
if they're
government,
still in play, we're fucked.
but the military is us. Like, how many?
No.
No, but I'm
No.
saying like I'm talking about like a super event. Like are the regular rank and file guys want to be in the military or take at home take care of their families? Like fuck a
Not
paycheck.
necessarily.
Fuck a paycheck. Money ain't gonna buy you shit at this point. So
No,
why?
it's not about money. at
Herdoc
that point,
Nappy,
though. You don't
Herdoc
understand.
Nappy, you are not wrong, nigga. Like, legit. Like, the government is complete and utter trash. Right?
Yeah.
Like, yo, we're in the middle of a pandemic. There's like 20% fucking unemployment, and they decided that, you know what, we need H2B visas because we need more people to come compete for your fucking jobs. Just-
Again, Tom, it's about imperialism. Fuck that shit.
you know, it's not about imperialism, it's about corporatism. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm saying is imperialism, because if it's all under the same empire, then of course bring in more. Wasn't it done during Rome?
If there's no grid and it's a super event, who's gonna protect the unprotectable?
What unprotectable?
That's the problem.
The unprotectable people that think that the people on fucking the Long Islands, the fucking the super fucking the people that think they're fucking special, but they're not really that special once everything goes to shit.
They're gonna
Oh, you-
they're the
like,
first to
tell-
get conquered.
Have you ever listened to a guy named Mark Blythe Gutenberg?
I have not.
You should listen to Mark Blythe. Like, yo, Mark Blythe is one of the most amazing economists I've ever heard of my life. He's from Scotland, right?
What school of thought is he from, Tom?
He's a historical economist, right?
Oh, very nice.
So, like,
Very nice.
yeah, he specializes in like the history of economies, and like he goes the whole way back to like the Ming Dynasty and shit. And it's like a whole bunch of his explanations. He had a really good book out called fucking I forget shit. It's like something like fucking the like tightening your belt is a really bad idea, right? Or the history of a bad idea. Fucking it's something. I forget the actual fucking word. But anyway,
Is he an older gentleman?
No, he's probably about like 51, maybe top side.
Okay.
I'm thinking probably like 45, 46, maybe actually.
Okay.
But he has this phrase he says, and in the Scottish voice, he sounds like Shrek. He says, the Hamptons are not a defensible position. He said, they're low-lying
Absolutely not.
areas. The peoples will come for you. I was like, yo, that is the
Right.
best shit ever.
If
That
you
is the
have,
best
Why do you
idea.
think New York was taken during the Revolutionary War?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how this works. Like, these motherfuckers don't understand that, like, they literally live in low-lying areas that has no defense, and the people will come for them eventually. Like, it is what it is.
All I'm saying, I'm a pretty good shot, iron sight at 400 fucking meters. Like and everyone around me is fucking great. They're deer hunters. Like I just don't see any kind of scenario in like an end of time fucking days where like the richest of the rich.
What are you
think
running?
they're
What are you running with?
You better be able to have
yards?
ammunition then.
Wait a minute. What are you running iron sights at 400 yards?
I collect old German Mausers, Chileans, fucking Yugoslavians. Like I'm a big fan of Mausers.
Got you. I want to get fucking Mosin and gun.
Oh well, I mean, if you want to go Russian, that's up to you. I'm just saying, like everybody around me, everybody I know, everybody that I graduated with, everybody,
Right.
like they can hit a fucking buck at 400 yards with no fucking problem. So, like, where do you go from there? If you have a trained militia around you, like basically, and everybody I know buy guns, thousands of ammo. Like it's just how they are as people. Like you buy them.
Be skilled with your hands and be skilled with melee weapons. Because don't just be relying on ammunition. I'm not opposed to it, but definitely don't.
There's guns out here. Everybody has guns. You better know how to fucking fire a firearm and own some. All right, it's that simple. If you don't own guns, like you're fucked. That's where I'm at right now. Legit.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Who you been talking to? DIP 1000X.
Yo.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Where are you from?
You're Florida. Originally from South Florida. Right now, I'm out in Seattle.
Oh, all right. Have you ever been to Pennsylvania?
No, I haven't been yet.
Oh,
eventually it'll happen.
Oh, you should come out sometime. And don't go to like.
Pittsburgh. I just gotta get bread. That's just for all over. I just gotta get bread.
Don't go to Harrisburg.
Don't go to Harrisburg.
Hold on. Why the fuck would I go to Harrisburg, bro?
No, it's garbage.
I know things about states' histories. Let's just put it that way.
I have.
Why the fuck would I go to the state capital?
I have showed him pictures of inner city Harrisburg. He does not want to go there.
No, it's not even that. I'm not going to any fucking state capitals because that's how your ass gets federal cases. Just FYI. I'm not putting myself in a position where I can have different alphabet agencies track my ass. No.
Everywhere around Harrisburg is super fucking cool. Just not in Harrisburg.
Harrisburg don't even sound cool, bro. That sounds like a whack ass name.
It has a lot of history and it has a lot of like.
Of course it does. I'd rather go to like Philly or places around their shit. And then like Pittsburgh and shit.
Fuck Pittsburgh.
Yeah, fuck Phil though. Don't go to any cities in Pennsylvania because they're not. I tell you what, Pittsburgh's not that bad, but
I didn't say to live there.
No, I'm just saying like
I mean even to visit,
like, places.
Legit, like even to visit. Like real shit, like in Philadelphia, like it's a goddamn shithole. Like Philadelphia is a
pretty much every place is a shithole if you look at it depending on your lens.
No. It's
way different. This is way different.
This is a whole different.
I've been in some shitty places, so it's all.
Have you ever been in the Northeast in any city in the Northeast? Tip?
Nah. There's reasons as to why that's been the case.
Okay, like you have to understand that like the cities in the Northeast are
different.
Yeah,
that's
why I don't live there.
Different animal, like legit, like it's a whole new animal in a city in the Northeast. Like they are some of the dirtiest, poorest, most fucking crime-ridden cities. Like niggas is like there's little kids riding around with dirt bikes with shotguns on their backs and shit, robbing motherfuckers.
Of course,
like, it's not cool.
Well, even if you get to what you think is a good area, there are savages to be like, "What are you doing?
Of course,
you're not from around here."
But
it's a little different.
You got to understand. Me being from South Florida, people don't quite understand what that means. It's like I educate people. Like a lot of the shit that happens in different cities, like with some of the police departments, LA, Chi-Town, you name it. That shit don't happen in Florida. You know why that shit don't happen in Florida? Because we got fucking killers who don't fucking care.
They literally do not care. Oh, prison time?
You don't understand what we're talking about.
I do understand what you're talking about.
Dip.
I do actually.
No, Dip.
So you got
Dip,
killers, okay?
Dip, I need to explain this to you. If you go to DC, there are people that ride around on fucking dirt bikes.
Yes.
With fucking guns.
And
they shoot at the cops that's a normal Monday for them.
And
yeah, like it used to be a normal thing just to throw beer bottles and rocks at fucking cop cars sitting on a stoop.
Yeah,
and not even running away. You're just sitting there. You're not even fucking mobile.
We're not saying you don't know.
We're
not saying you don't know.
You talking to the wrong one, because I'm not one of these dudes from like these little pushover areas. I understand.
We're not saying
like this is a normal Monday to me. I don't care.
I'm not saying you are. I'm saying for like, dude, the cops don't even do anything about it, which I find
weird. Of course
weird.
they don't, because most of them are pussified. That's why most of them are officers.
No. Yo, it's because like we will go out and rob the police officers in the middle of the street. Like we don't fucking care.
Oh shit.
Like,
I know.
That
shit doesn't faze me though. At all.
My girl said Dip doesn't sound like a tough guy.
I'm not this overly tough guy. That's the thing. You have to be approachable to people. I'm not stupid.
I'm not.
That's what is
where we live.
I'm not stupid. That don't mean I don't fuck your shit up.
I think what everyone is just saying, like the East Coast is a little different because like there are cliques, and when you see people,
it's not just that. It's the fact that winter's coming.
Yeah, winter makes people fucking super agitated.
No, it's cold as fuck.
All right, what it is here's the thing, right? Like,
I like
the
it.
problem is that it's gonna get cold, all right, and everybody's out here robbing and jacking to put fucking coats on their kids and fucking pay for heating bills in the winter, right? Like, so like like winter's coming and it's gonna get fucking cold, so it gets real savage, real fucking quick throughout the year. Like it just gets fucking nasty. Like summertime comes and motherfuckers just start opening fire.
I've never been to Florida.
Out on this bitch, and that's a good enough reason.
No, I understand what you're saying. I think the elements, I think the elements in the Northeast bring out a different level of human being, because you have to overcome certain natural aspects of fucking life that most other places in the country don't have to. Like I almost got in a fight with my fucking neighbor, like a fist fight over a parking spot, because I shoveled mine out and he parked there. And I live in a pretty safe ass fucking place, but I was ready to literally fight this fucking my neighbor who I've known forever. It's just like, I think the elements bring a different aspect to savagery. I'm just saying, like South Florida seems like Sandals and Jimmy Buffett songs.
Right. Like here's what I'm saying.
Y'all do realize how many people New York Northeast come down to Florida, right? Y'all do realize that. And most of them are bitch made. Not all of them. Most of them are bitch made.
They're the ones who got the money to leave.
No. You don't understand. When you the further south you go,
got ran out of town, right? Like
the further south you go, the heat and humidity. It brings out a different side of people. Let's just put it that way.
I think once like a Northeast dude goes south, you know what I'm saying? Like every time I go south, I'm just like, we could take this over in like 2 weeks. Like these people are bitches, and they're slow and they're retarded. Like fucking like all of y'all are like inbred and you got a hookworm in your feet or some shit. Like I don't understand like why somebody hasn't just conquered the South to begin with. You know what I mean?
I think why nobody fucks with the South.
We already did once. I mean, we could do it again.
No, that ain't what happened. That ain't what happened.
I mean, I think
that is not what happened. Sherman's march. If you
we said Pelham Romanos, motherfucker, and like just took over that bitch.
Sherman did his own shit. He was like, "Fuck this. This war's been going on for too long, and I'm going old school." That's literally what happened. Like he literally went off the reservation. Him and Ulysses S. Grant did what no other Union general was going to do or was competent to be able to do.
Real quick, let me break in here. It's been great talking to you guys, but I do have to
tell you.
Pinoid
down to like 2 minutes anyway. Like that's kind of where I was at anyway.
Goku Dip 1000X. Good talking to you guys, man. You guys have a good night.
Gutenberg, have a good one.
Stop pissing in my river, dude.
I do. I'm a shit in that river right now.
I swear to God, like, yo, I fucking swear to Christ, like, I'm up there to smack the taste out your mouth, you motherfucker. I'm gonna knock that Eddie off your head.
Is that right? Is that right? I don't think that's gonna happen at all. But you guys have a good night.
Later, man. Peace. All right, niggas. Yo, look, it's been about an hour and a half. I gotta go to the fucking store, get some fucking cigarettes and shit. So, like, I'm gonna shut this bitch down. AP's about to go live. So everybody go watch AP. Real shit. You know what I mean? Like, go check out my boy. He's doing his motherfucking thing here at fucking midnight. You know what I mean? I'm going to get the fuck out of here myself. I get some cigarettes. Dip, Doku. I apologize, Doku. We didn't have a whole lot of time to chat. Maybe we'll do something tomorrow. All right?
Bro, it's all good. I'm just jumping in to have fun, shoot the shit. And, didn't you know? You gotta go check out AP's Scooby video. You know?
Yo, fucking, yo, I had a decent part in that motherfucker. Like,
yeah, you did, though, dude. I was laughing my fucking ass off. That shit was great.
Bro, I was like, nigga, I said that's 4 people, nigga. Like, I'm just trying to help you out with the math and shit.
I don't know, dude. Spurg's on the internet. I can't fucking keep up. Like, I can't be bothered with it, man. Like, I don't fucking know. Go watch fucking AP's video about Scooby and his fucking goddamn antics. It's been like what, 4 years now. Fucking goddamn, dude. Like, Scooby, stop. Anyways, Pinoy, get the fuck out of here. Go watch AP.
All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all motherfuckers later. Dip, thank you, man.
Anytime.